Hello, everyone. Good afternoon from the East Coast. Good morning if you are where JR is in beautiful California. Justin Abramson here with you, JR Jones along for the ride. And we are here for the 2024 U.S. Cup draw. So the draw, always an exciting time. I know we've got a few folks tuned in, and I hope people will be active in the chat with some trash talk. But it's going to be an exciting tournament this year. I'm really looking forward to it. JR, how you doing?
Doing great. Excited to get this tournament back and started again.
Yeah, so we had a fun U.S. Cup last year. Three thrilling games, I know, between DC and California in the first round. I know you guys made it all the way to the finals, and then came up just short against our now defending champions, Team New Jersey. But a lot of good teams here, and should be some exciting games. And really looking forward to the 24 edition of this tournament.
Yeah, thrilled that we got two new federations to join this year. So we have 6 teams per group, which is pretty exciting stuff. More games is always more fun.
Yeah, for sure. So we've got Team North Carolina, headed by Graham Palmer, is joining this year, and Team Ohio, headed by Peter France, will also join. Peter played for Team Pennsylvania last year, but he's formed his own team this year, and so that rounds out the field to 12. There were 12 teams in the first edition of the U.S. Cup back in 2021. That went back to 10 for 2022, 2023, and now we're back to 12 here for 2024. So just to give everybody an idea of the format, we will do 2 groups of 6 teams each. Each team will play each other team one time for a total of 5 games. And then there was some interest, a pretty unanimous interest among the team captains in having a 6th game, having a crossover game. That obviously gets everybody another game, gets people more games, which the team games are always fun, but it also ensures that everyone gets to play 3 USA games and 3 USSR games. So today, we will draw teams into each group, so you'll find out who is in your group, and we will also draw the crossover opponent that each team will have. After the draw, I will do USA, USSR scheduling stuff offline, and we'll post that in the main spreadsheet. Let everybody know when that's ready. But I am eager to get started here. So, JR, I'd love your first impressions on the field. In particular, I'd love to hear a team that you're hoping to draw in either your group or in the crossover game. And I'd love to hear about a team you're hoping to avoid.
Team I want to avoid, I'm going to go with the guys that knocked us out of the finals last year, Team New Jersey. They had 2 pretty easy victories over us. If I recall correctly, I don't think either game ended up being super close. They handily beat us, so I'd like to avoid them. Maybe we can get a rematch in the playoffs, but no reason to play them before then. And, I'd love to get an easy victory in the crossover game, so let's hope we draw Team DC for that crossover opponent.
Yeah. I thought you might pick Team DC. We had 3 great games last year, and ended up losing to War Games on that final game. But we likewise hope for a rematch in that crossover game. And yeah, I know you picked New Jersey last year as your team you wanted to avoid, and it turned out to be quite prescient. And they won the whole darn thing. So we have wound up with New Jersey in our group in each of the first 2 years. We have lost to New Jersey in group play in each of the first 2 years. And so I love the idea of avoiding New Jersey as well. Although, you know what? If you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best. So here we go. Jeremy, I see, has joined. Peter, welcome, guys. And I'm sure we've got some more folks on the line who haven't perhaps weighed in on the chat yet. I asked my teammate Ted Livermore to join, but he has a job that requires him to pay attention at all times. So we will see if he's able to join as well. But without further ado, let's get to it. And so first, I've got the wheel of names pulled up here. And so we will just spin the wheel, and whoever the fickle finger of fate lands on will be in Group A. So we will start with pot 1, which is Texas and New Jersey. Texas and New Jersey are the last 2 champions of this tournament. New Jersey won last year, Texas the year before. Although Texas actually failed to make it out of the group stage this time around. And so that was a surprise to many, and we'll see how things go this year. But first, New Jersey or Texas in Group A. Going to be Texas.
Texas.
All right, JR. What are your opinion? What are your thoughts on Team Texas?
I mean, Team Texas is a great team. I was honestly shocked that we were able to even get out of playoffs thanks to them going, or get into playoffs thanks to them going 2-2. I mean, they have what, 2 or 3 like top 15 players on that team. So I know I said that I wanted to avoid New Jersey, but would not be looking forward to a match with Texas either. I mean, Striker, Thomas, who's the third one? David DiCarlo. Like all of those guys, just very, very strong opponents.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And obviously, Pennsylvania remembers last year when you said you wanted to avoid New Jersey. That means that you wanted to draw Pennsylvania last year, and you guys sure enough did knock them out 2-0 in the playoffs, although you did lose to them in the group stage. But the fact that you want to avoid New Jersey this year says, hey, you're excited about playing Team Texas. So I don't think Michael Stryker watches these, but if he does, I hope he's got. I think he's got some bulletin board material.
Well, he's got plenty of that after we beat him last year too.
Yeah, no doubt about
Pretty
that.
handily, if I recall correctly.
If you recall correctly, which I'm sure that you do. Okay, so pot 2 is the one perhaps we care most about is Team California and DC. And so whoever gets doesn't fit. So there we go. So whoever is selected by the fickle finger of fate will go into Group A with Team Texas. However, the other team will go into Group B with New Jersey. And it will be DC. So we will be playing Texas for in Group A. And California does, in fact, draw New Jersey in Group B. This will be our first year not playing against New Jersey and our first year playing against Texas in the group stage. We played Texas in the 2022 championship and lost in 3 games, none of which were particularly close. And you guys get New Jersey. So, and I believe they have a new team member. Stephen Deutsch has joined that team, so now they are a team of 3 and not just a team of 2. But certainly a formidable group, and not a group anybody would be happy to see on the other side.
Yeah, but maybe we can get some revenge after those finals games. So
yes, so a couple of matchups here, not just yours, obviously. So we've got a rematch here of the 2023 final and a rematch here of the 2022 final. So hope to get some good games there. And obviously, the great news: California, JR will be streaming all of Team California's games. I will be streaming all of Team DC's games, and Ed Prem does not stream live, but he will post Texas's games on YouTube, so you can catch that over on his channel, Gaming with the Colonel, the next day. Now we just got to get Ryan or Harry to post theirs as well. I know Harry posts his individual games. I don't know about his Team New Jersey games, but anyway, moving along, Team Nevada and Team Illinois. I certainly don't have any history with either of these two teams. JR, any comment about either of these teams?
I mean, I think I'm rooting that we get Nevada on our side because I think it'd be funny for you guys to get Illinois over on yours.
Yes.
Illinois also went 3-1 last year. I mean, I think they didn't do great in 2022, but 2023 they really did very well. They went 3-1 and they made it to the semifinals. So,
yes, they made the semifinals last year and ended up falling there to New Jersey. But they were, they had a good run last year. Tough 2022, and they're back for more in 2023. And actually, we have a, that's a good question, JR. We have, Team DC has a friendly scheduled with Illinois on this Wednesday, actually 2 days from now. So if we do draw Illinois, we may make that our U.S. Cup game. And although we have a storied history, not particularly one I'd like to tell the story of, and against Team Illinois, we have not met them in an official game yet. So here's an opportunity for that to happen for the first time. We've been drawn into opposite groups both of our first two tournaments. So who will be in Group A? It will be Illinois. Okay,
All right.
so we have that rivalry, and it will be rekindled here in Group A. Jeremy Anders, no doubt, pumping his fists in delight, thinking about his team's free win in group play. So we've got DC and Illinois in Group A, along with Texas. Group B now, New Jersey, California, and Nevada. And obviously Illinois, a tough draw. Matt's Rolls, always a tough draw. And of course, we have beaten Nevada the past 2 years in group play. And they're a good team as well. Michael Panettiere, Kevin Goody, they won't be an easy out either.
Yeah, and they also usually stream, which is nice. One of them, I think it's been Kevin recently. Nevada usually streams their team games as well. So more streaming action in both groups there.
Yes, that's great. Always love the streaming of the team games. Those are often popular. Those usually get the most views of any of my videos. And moving on to pot 4, we have Pennsylvania and New York. So Pennsylvania down Peter France this year, but still a strong squad and a well-organized squad there from Justin Nordstrom. He always puts a good team together. Josiah Emery, Justin, Joe Leone, Anthony Russo, I know sometimes joins. So they've got a good squad. And then, of course, there's New York, which headed by Gabriel Panic. Gabriel is the defending Atlantic League champion. And they had a tough year last year, but certainly a good team as well. So not an easy draw for either of these teams.
No, and I think I don't know if you made the pots or if we were handed them, but probably some bulletin board material for both of these teams when they see they're in pot 4. Both of these very good teams, and I think if I was them, I would have a little bit of a chip on my shoulder seeing myself down in pot 4 here.
Yes, perhaps. Yeah, Luis gave me the pots. I did not make them, so direct your bulletin board material elsewhere. But Pennsylvania is certainly an accomplished team, and New York trying to do a little bit better than last year, but it's a new year, and here we go. So who will be in Group A? It's going to be Team Pennsylvania. So we've got Pennsylvania here and New York in Group B. So yeah, we had a friendly last year against Team Pennsylvania, and we got turn 4 steamrolled. It was one of the uglier games I've ever been a part of. So I really hope that our game is not in any way a reprisal of that one. We've got New York in Group B, and so we've got two East Coast teams, a couple of West Coast teams in Group B, whereas Group A has a decidedly Midwestern feel. So. Okay.
And we've got I was just gonna say we've got a nice mix so far of last year. I think this is each group has 2 teams from the last year's groups, so we have a nice mix. Not as similar as last year. I think only one team switched last year, so it's nice to get some new opponents on the schedule.
Yeah, I'm particularly happy with because we did, as DC did not have Illinois, Pennsylvania, or Texas in our group last year. So there'll be 3 new group stage opponents for us. We didn't have them last year. We didn't have them the year before either. So we will get a new opponent regardless. So that is nice. And moving along to pot 5, Washington and Colorado. So Colorado, obviously, Craig Richards, Jordan Cass, Nathan Wagner. And then, JR, I know you helped recruit Team Washington to this tournament. Tell us a little bit about Team Washington.
Yeah, team captain is Casey. He's been really up and coming. He's blown up in ITSR and Playdeck since he started. So there's a good example for everyone. Join a team game and you'll boost your own rating. And he's got some new. I don't remember who he had said, but he has a couple new teammates this year, I believe, that he recruited. So looking forward to seeing the new iteration of Washington with Casey still at the head.
Yes, I believe James Yu was one of them. Can't remember the other off the top of my head, but no doubt they'll be a good team. They went 0-4 last year, so looking for some improvement this year. But I know they'll be able to provide some good games and be a challenge for any team that plays them. So here we go, Colorado and Washington. Who's going to be in Group A? It's going to be Washington. So we've got Washington over here in Group A. Group B will have Team Colorado. And finally, we have Team North Carolina and Ohio. So Team Ohio, headed by Peter France, the new team to the U.S. Cup this year. And then Team North Carolina, headed by Graham Palmer. Graham has played in Atlantic League both of the last 2 years, and he has advanced to the playoffs in both the last 2 years, something I cannot say about myself. And so we are looking for one of the newcomers to join these pools. JR, any comment about either of these teams before we spin the wheel?
No, I mean, both going to be very tough teams. I mean, Peter's a great player, and Graham obviously is too. He just won Atlantic League, so I mean, both great players leading these teams. Neither one of them is going to be an easy draw, so let's just see what happens.
Yep. So we're going to spin the wheel here, and in Group A, we will have Ohio. So Ohio here, that's going to be Peter's team. And over here will be Graham's North Carolina squad. All right. So here we have the groups. So, JR, give me your early impressions of your group and the other group. What sticks out to you here about these groups?
I mean, I'm looking at my group and I'm thinking California's going to have a hard time making it back to the playoffs. Like these are 6 very good teams over in my group. Every game going to be tough. No games on that schedule where I'm like, oh yeah, I think we can handle that pretty easily. So it's going to be an exciting group stage, especially with the expanded group stage this year. And then, I mean, on your side, same deal basically. I don't think there's too many bad teams in the U.S. Cup, but I think I like how my group shook out here. I think I'm okay with it when I look over at your side.
Yeah. A lot of good teams here. A lot of new teams. So last year, Team DC did it. We did have Washington in our group. Ohio's obviously new. We have not played Pennsylvania, Illinois, or Illinois at all in the U.S. Cup play, and we have played Texas only in the finals in 2022. So some new opponents for us. We're excited about that. Obviously Washington and Ohio, new look teams, and excited to get our first look at them. So yes, Jeremy, playoffs will be the same as prior years. So we will have the top 3 teams in each group make the playoffs. So it used to be 3 out of 5 from each group will make the playoffs. Now 3 out of 6. So the top 3 teams will make it. We will have the same thing. The group winners will get a bye to the semifinals. Second and third will play. Second place from one group will play third place in another group in the first round. And then we will also have the crossover game. So the crossover game will be obviously an important game. It'll count just like the rest. However, because it does introduce some scheduling imbalance in the group, we will have the first tiebreaker be just group record taking away that crossover game. So it is maybe slightly less important than the group games, but obviously want to make sure that's important as well. And obviously, taking another step before we have to get to the turn score is ideal for everybody. So JR, now
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, JR.
No, I was just gonna say I agree. Always nice to have another tiebreaker before turn score. I mean, it makes sense that you have to eventually get to that, but it's such a fickle beast, especially with cards like War Games, and sometimes you just get a turn 4 stomp. Sometimes that's not possible.
Yep, indeed. Okay, so here we are. We will have now. It's time to draw the crossover game for each team. So I will just draw the opponents for group I guess. No, that was stupid. I did this wrong. Well, let's do this. There we go. Okay, so listed here are the Group B teams. And so I will spin the wheel for who will play Texas in the crossover game.
All right. I think everyone's probably hoping to avoid this one.
And yes, so Team Colorado will be playing against Team Texas. District
All right. Tough draw for them.
Yep, tough draw for them. Okay. And so we'll remove them. All right, Team DC will be playing against. Oh, come on. Yes! All right.
Perfect.
There we go.
Good job reading that. Perfect.
Excellent.
It was rigged, folks.
Yep.
But it's okay.
Excellent job on the wheel of names as we will draw California, the team that eliminated us last year. And
that's what we like to see.
Revenge in the crossover game. So, yes.
All right.
Just barely made it there. Okay. I know JR.
Yeah, high drama from the wheel. Drama from the wheel there.
Excellent. All right, Wheel of Names doing a great job. Okay, back to the wheel. We'll remove that. Pot number 3 is Team Illinois. So Illinois will be playing against... It's going to be Team New York.
All right, that should be a good one. And New York definitely out looking for revenge.
Yes.
This year, so.
Plus, I like that. I like to see a streaming team draw a non-streaming team, so we get more total games streamed live on Twitch. That is always nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, now we have Pennsylvania. Who is Pennsylvania gonna get? Pennsylvania will draw. Is it going to be North Carolina? It will be New Jersey. So they get the defending champs. And the defending champs.
And that's the two.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say those were the two group winners from last year were Pennsylvania and New Jersey. So a good matchup there.
Oh, yes, true. The two group winners, neighboring states, the defending champs against perhaps the biggest and best organized team in the tournament. And so that should be a good one as well. Team Pennsylvania doesn't stream their matches, but they do post them on YouTube, so we will be able to see at least one side of that one after the fact. And finally, let's see who Team Washington will draw. Will they get Nevada or North Carolina? They will get Nevada. And that means, correct me if I'm wrong, that our two newcomers will be playing each other.
There you go.
So, we got Ohio and North Carolina here. Okay. So we got some juicy crossover matchups as well. Obviously looking forward to this one. And this one should be good as well, Pennsylvania against New Jersey. And then, obviously always excited to see Illinois in any U.S. Cup game, as especially with their, when that IP war gets played. So good matchups abound.
Yeah, very excited to get this one started. Very excited to see our side matchups a little later today when you get those out to everyone.
Yes. So still to come, each team will play 3 games as USSR, 3 games as USA. I will do those assignments via a random number generator. It's going to take a little bit of time, so I'm not going to do it live for everybody. That'll get very boring very quickly. But I'll get those out later today. I'll populate the schedule. Luis gave me permission to edit things. And so I'll populate that, let everybody know when it's ready, and we can get to playing. And I will see if Team Illinois wants to have our game be just a friendly as planned, or if we want to just make that the opener of the U.S. Cup in just a couple days' time. So we'll see how that goes. Now, JR, let's also talk briefly about deadlines. So last year we had. Some people had trouble scheduling their games. We eventually got them all in, got the tournament done in time. But I was thinking of a little bit more of a progressive deadline, particularly with 6 games on the docket. this year as opposed for 4 in group play. So I was thinking, and let me know what your thoughts are, of doing a deadline of kind of 1 game a month. Obviously, if a team misses a deadline, we're not going to kick them out of the tournament. But ideally, it's so forget about January. It's already the 22nd, and people just got their assignments today. But if we aim for 1 game in February, 1 March, April, May, June, July, that's 6 games. We aim to have group play done July 31st, and then we have 5 months left for playoffs. Teams usually like to do best of 3s in the playoffs, so that'll give plenty of time for that. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Obviously, like you said, no one's getting kicked out of the U.S. Cup if they don't meet a deadline. But if we, do an RTSL style, please have this many games done by this deadline, it'll hopefully keep things running. Because yeah, like you said, the playoffs, almost everyone likes to do best of 3s there. It sucks to get knocked out of the playoffs because you just got turn 3 steamrolled and there was nothing you could do. And you need a couple months to get at least 4 to 6 guys together to play, 12 best of 3 games.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great idea. I really like your proposal.
Yeah, scheduling these is always tricky. Now they're certainly easier for U.S. Cup than they are for Nations Cup because Nations Cup games almost always have to be planned on the weekend given the different time zones. So I think we will try to aim for 1 game a month and up until the end of July, and then we'll see if we can help coordinate for teams that are falling behind. Obviously, vacations happen. Obviously, certain conflicts are just unavoidable. So if we can't meet the one game a month deadline, then that's certainly not the end of the world. But trying to keep up with that I think we'll make that the goal this year. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Continue, JR.
Oh, I was just say I think that's a great idea, and shout out to all the captains out there for being proactive this year. We're all gonna get after it and get these games scheduled.
Yes, I look forward to that. And also, just want to, for those watching, want to encourage those. So looking at the 12 teams. So DC, Illinois, California, Nevada, Colorado. So that's 5 teams that stream their games live. And at least Texas, Pennsylvania. At least Texas and Pennsylvania, I think that is it on these groups. Post their games on YouTube the next day, but I know also that New Jersey and Ohio have individual players who post their games on YouTube. So I would encourage those players, if they are listening or watching, to post their team games as well. I know they're always interesting watches for the folks who like to follow the U.S. Cup. And then anyone else who is interested, want to invite you to join the streaming community. Always fun to watch these team games, listen to players talk about their moves. So it's just a public appeal for more streaming, more posting of videos, and more live Twilight Struggle. I hope, JR, I have to think you could get behind that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, what else am I going to do? Work during the weekdays? Like that's ridiculous. I'm here doing a draw for the U.S. Cup on 9:30 on a Monday, so I always need more games to occupy my time.
Exactly.
And if your internet's not good enough to stream, because it can be taxing, posting on YouTube is really easy. So, if you're one of those teams and you're thinking, I don't have the computer set up or whatever to stream, anyone's computer that can play Twilight Struggle can record their game and then post it on YouTube later. So those are always appreciated too, even if it's not a live stream.
Yes, definitely. I've often gone back and watched those later. Now, all right, JR, I know we're going to wrap up here. It's been a half hour, so thank you for joining. Yes, and thank you, Jordan, for recently joining the streaming community. It's been fun watching your games, and I hope you'll stream Team Colorado's games if Craig does not or isn't able to. But JR, before we wrap up, we've got our groups, we've got our opponents now, and other than DC versus California, which obviously is what we are both most looking forward to. Give me a matchup you're most looking forward to watching. In these out of these groups or in the crossover games?
I am definitely looking forward to the Texas DC game. I think that's going to be a great one, and I'll definitely watch your live stream of that, and then I'll watch Texas's either video. I think Ed even occasionally still live streams those, doesn't he? Um,
I'm not sure if he live streamed it, but
but
yeah, we
looking
definitely
forward to
post
that
them
one.
on the next day on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. Looking forward to that one. I'm also looking forward to hopefully watching the Pennsylvania New Jersey game. I would love to watch that one. I think that'll be a very good game, and I really would look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, Team Pennsylvania, Justin Nordstrom records those and posts them. Perhaps Josiah as well. So I hope we should at least get one side of that game, and then maybe we can talk Harry into posting the New Jersey side as well. I know he posts his own games, so that should be maybe we'll get his side as well. But okay, lots of good games going to happen this year. I'm excited about this draw. Excited about this tournament. It's my favorite tournament. Obviously, I love the individual games: ITSL, OTSL, RTSL. Love Atlantic League, even with my mixed success, and then playing with Team USA in the Nations Cup the last couple of years has been really fun as well. But the US Cup is my favorite tournament, and lots of good trash talk on both sides, and it's just always a fun one. I know you're looking forward to it too, JR.
Oh, absolutely. Like you said, one of the most fun tournaments of the year. It's always fun to get on with a couple of guys and talk through, argue about every play.
Yes. Yeah, no doubt about that. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap up and let everybody go back to their work days. JR, any final thoughts here before we end?
Nope, looking forward to it. Thanks so much for having me on and doing all this work to get it set up.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, folks. Well, there you have it. We've got the draw here. I'll send this out via email later once I've got the USA and USSR sides decided. But don't forget to come back in about 8 hours, a little bit more. I will have another ITSL game tonight against Trevor Reese, and so hope you'll join me then. But until next time, for JR Jones, this is Justin Abramson signing off. That was fun, but now it's done. So long, everybody.